I misspelled it here. Jesus.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I think that's it. Is that everything?
Hive and
No, that's where we're live. We're live. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
I'm alive every day, everywhere.
Okay, good. Please check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com, and go find us then on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Hive. Go like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, send bubbles, send hearts, send cash, whatever you want to do. That's all. All right. We're going to talk about some movies. We got a lot to talk about today. I don't know what happened.
We actually did something once in our lives.
Yeah, we got busy this time.
Well, we caught up on a few things and then watched some new things. Some other things fell in our lap. So
pretty much. All right, babe.
It was a movie day that was both joyful and triumphant.
It was. What order? Do you care what order we go in?
I don't even care.
I'm going to just start with this because this is what just happened. It was we move it to the new season.
Well, and it's actually a week older. It came out, I think, last week, so we saw it late. So it is the older of the bunch.
All right.
So you talk about that. I'm just going to eat this thing.
This is the movie Thanksgiving. Looks really cool in the poster, right? It's a nice little.
And ironically, it was just Thanksgiving.
It was.
It's almost like they planned it.
That's why I wanted to talk about this lovely movie, to celebrate the holiday with joy. Because you said it was joyful and triumphant.
It is.
So basically, this is based on a fake trailer that came out during the Grindhouse double feature movie that we went to see back when?
Oh, Lord.
It says, 2007.
Yeah, because it had Planet Terror and...
there was also a fake trailer for Machete.
Machete,
which
Thanksgiving.
Didn't even exist.
I think it was one of them. Something else.
So the Grindhouse movie, it was a double feature thing that we went to go see, right?
Yeah, because when we saw the initial release where they put out everything in one release, and then
Correct.
They later re-released it separately
as two separate things.
As
so
like special event things.
Oh, I remember we were there like in the middle of the night forever. Not forever, but we were there for a couple of hours. It was a big event, and then it was kind of like a little intermission, but they had these fake trailers.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving was one of them, and it's just like a Thanksgiving slasher film. And we're like, "Oh, this would be awesome."
Eli Roth directed the trailer back then too, and then Robert Rodriguez had done Machete, but Robert Rodriguez had also done Planet Terror, and Quentin Tarantino had done the other. What is the other one?
You
went blank. I don't know why. Well, I can't remember. Planet Terror and wow, it's the stunt one with the stunt women and riding on the hood of the car.
Oh yes, that was a great one. Is it Thunderbolt?
No,
that was one.
No, yeah, but that's just annoyed.
Okay, well, let's find out. Machete, Grindhouse. Okay, Planet Terror,
Death Proof.
Yes, that was cool. It was what's her name on the hood of the car?
Yeah, it was Zoe Bell. That introduced the world of stunt woman Zoe Bell as an actress and not just a stunt woman. They also had a trailer for Werewolf Woman of the SS, which was directed by Rob Zombie, which is based off of an actual Nazi werewolf movie. It might have been the same name of the movie back then. He's talked about making it. It
sounds like an awesome movie, by the way.
So this new movie, we've been waiting for Eli Roth to make this Thanksgiving movie. We've been talking about it for years since this movie came out. But now it's been so long, a lot of people asked him about, well, is this finally the movie from the trailer? And he had such a genius response because it's been so long. Either he had to make it look like, because that old trailer looks like an old trailer.
Right.
And it looks like it might have been, I want to say 70s or 80s when it was taking place.
Right.
But this new movie, instead of holding himself to the exact visuals and matching it, what he has said is this movie is a remake of that movie, which is a movie that doesn't actually exist. It's just a trailer. So there's the main kill sequences are in the new movie that are in the trailer in a various form and a little bit differently, but the same. So it's a very intriguing thing. So he basically remade his trailer, treating it like that movie actually existed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but this is also him going back to his horror roots. If you don't know Eli Roth, first of all, shame on you. He was known for Cabin Fever first, and then he's shifted into a lot of different stuff. including like some horror stuff. He did a movie called Knock Knock that has Keanu Reeves before the John Wick days, Ana de Armas. He also did Hostel, which is one of my favorite series. So he was really known for a lot of horror stuff. And then since then, he's gone on and done different stuff like The Clock in the Walls, I believe it was. He did a Death Wish movie with Bruce Willis. He's done a lot of different stuff. Hello. Welcome to our show. We have a guest.
You can't have cookies.
No.
I'm not going to eat anymore.
But he's returned to his horror roots with Thanksgiving. I was excited for this movie because I like all things Eli Roth and, of course, all things slasher.
Correct. And it's a great slasher film. So basically, it's a town that they're celebrating or they're commemorating the founders, which is one of the Pilgrims, right?
John Carver.
And so everyone walks around town. They're giving out these pilgrim masks.
Yeah.
So the killer's wearing a pilgrim mask. You have no idea who it is because there's everybody in the town that has one on.
Yeah, so it plays up kind of like Scream, where it's a murder mystery. It's really not that hard to figure out who the killer is. So, but not in a way that I thought, you know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't, like I kind of figured out, and I think you did too, pretty early on who we assumed was either the killer or at least involved.
Correct. I'm going to share this original trailer.
And so, but that's really not the point of the movie. It is, but it's just the fun of the movie itself. And let me tell you, the opening sequence, which is a Black Friday sequence, is awesome.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, what is going on? But
those things happen in real life. The way it happens, it's just a little more aggressive, a little more crazy.
Yeah, it's true though.
But it probably has one of the best openings to like a slasher type flick in a while. Bloody, gory, ridiculously and fully believable. Sadly, it's not even that. It has nothing to do with the slasher guy. It's a whole nother setup.
Yeah, it's a whole thing
that sets up the catalyst of the movie. And this also sets up, depending on how well the movie does, which I don't think it's done super great, but I don't know if it's done horrible. A possible franchise because they can still do a lot of stuff with this.
This is such a fun movie, and I do like that it goes back to your old school slasher thing because we haven't had one of those in a while. I was telling you, I enjoy
outside of like new editions of Scream
and all that, but that's an existing thing. It's not like a new thing. It's just Ghostface is back and whatever iteration or whoever. But recently, many of our scary movies or horror movies have been the elevated horror where they're trying to tell a story or there's a theme, which I love because it's smart, you know. I went back this week and I was watching It Follows, which I think was one of the first ones. That's what 2005 or something.
I don't think it was really. I mean, it's in that era.
It's in that genre where we're starting to get more of that. So then, just now to go back to just I
want to say the Babadook was probably one of the first ones that really.
Babadook, that's next on my list. I think.
Is it?
It's one of
I'll rewatch that and watch that in years.
But I like that we're just getting a good old slasher film. Because I've been missing it.
It's silly, it's fun, it's bloody.
A slasher film.
I was a little concerned at the beginning because I hate every kid in this movie.
They
all annoyed me.
They all deserve to die.
But it's almost like it's the annoying in the way that it makes me annoyed with them and eager to watch them die. So it's almost by design. It's taken the 80s slasher trope but putting in present day.
Yes.
You know, and they weren't annoying where it was upsetting me like some of these kind of movies do. It was annoying me. It's like, can you just kill this person already?
Right.
You know, but they also were acting like typical young people. They're just jerks and assholes and selfish and self-centered and whatever. But are you back again? No, there's no space for you, sweetie. I'm sorry. But yeah, I love this movie too. I thought it was a blast.
I really enjoyed it. It was just a good fun time.
It's not the tone that I was hoping for when I saw the trailer back then, but I was happy with it now. Had this version come out back then, I might have been upset because that old version of the trailer
it looks so grimy.
It's dirtier, it's grimier. It felt like Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of.
Yeah, visuals. And I shared a copy here.
Yeah, where this one is cleaner, it's Scream-like, and I'm fine because that's kind of the tone that works now.
Yeah.
And I think more people, especially the fans of Scream, would connect with this a little bit better. I did find that the ending wasn't bad, but it was a little cliched. You know, it didn't, outside of the kills and the blood and the gore, I don't feel like it really pushed. What?
Sabine, she's pulling the plug.
Oh, Sabine, stop.
It's sweetie. Sabine that's doing it.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down. I don't feel like it really went all in on some of the elements. I feel it played it safe by the numbers, kind of for storytelling. But again, we're really just here to watch the kills.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
And the simplistic
The
nature
story is good. It's
of the
fine.
John Carver Pilgrim look is cool. It's
Yeah.
got an iconic visual to it that's really good. That anybody can be the character. It doesn't even have to
Correct.
be one person now.
Exactly. I was like, it's multiple people. Everyone's in on it. But
So this will definitely
Yeah.
have to be a yearly
this is
watch.
like an annual Thanksgiving tradition now.
Because we don't have a lot of Thanksgiving horror flicks. There are some, so don't start. Yeah, what about this? What about this? What about this? But there's not a lot that are fully just focused on Thanksgiving outside like Thanksgiving with the gobble turkey thing. That's really horrible.
Yeah.
You got some comedies like Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, things like that. But we don't have enough. But I have heard that there was a discussion. I don't know if this was a rumor or a true discussion that they were hoping.
Oh, the Pilgrim movie that we got a couple years ago. I liked that.
That this was
during
supposed to
COVID.
be starting like a holiday trend. Like I don't know if Eli Roth or if it's the studio or if they wanted to do a new Thanksgiving movie every year or make a different one for a different holiday each time. Like this same franchise could be the same story.
Yeah.
But then next time do, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Or,
and there's those series of movies that you could watch. We found them on Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
It's a series of holiday horror films, so you can celebrate every holiday with the horror. Yeah, that turkey and then the Thanksgiving is horrible.
Thanksgiving is so bad.
Thanksgiving's gross.
There's like 3 or 4 of them too.
Yeah, part 1 and 2.
Anyway, but Thanksgiving is in theaters now. It's a fun flick. If you like horror films, you'd have a fun blast with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Just go
So
and turn your
check
brain
it
off
out.
and just have fun. I'm gonna eat this now.
I need to grab this plug because they're just.
You got what?
Grab this plug because now Vader's gonna sit on it. Hold on, excuse us. Let me grab this. They're pulling the plugs out of my computer,
Vader,
which may not need it.
he laid down on it.
That's what I was saying.
I was trying to get it and he laid down.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, children.
This is so unprofessional.
We have a dog who just does whatever he wants. You got it. Oh, now he's gonna get up out of it.
Well, yeah, you got to get up out of it.
What plug is that for?
The computer.
Oh. Okay, lay back down, buddy.
Thought I should have it plugged in since I have so many
Vader,
things connected to
I
it.
am sorry for this.
This
We've got a
is
dog that's just doing whatever he wants. He doesn't even care.
unprofessional.
Vader, get off me and lay down. No, don't come up here. No. Your mom's got to sit here. Stop.
Who knows what that
Vader's
looks
now
like.
trying to get up here. He's under the table here trying to
Who knows what we look like on the
bulldoze his way
camera.
in. All right, sorry about
Okay,
that.
Sorry.
Anyway, Thanksgiving's in theaters now. Go watch it. Pull the table
Unprofessional.
back again.
Unprofessional.
All right, next on the agenda, what's next, sister?
Let's see.
And everybody likes our low budget status
I know.
anyway.
Is this okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
The new Trolls movie. Who knew that Fluffy Little Trolls was going to be possible?
When they made the first movie, I was like, or announced the first movie, excuse me. I was like, this is stupid. Like we all had our
You
generation
had the
all
little
had
trolls. You put the little dolls on
our
you.
generation all had these dolls.
You
It
stick
was
them on your
fun.
desk.
You shake them, make their
and
hair
do
go
the hairdo
crazy.
things.
But it's like, who cares about a movie for this? And the first movie was fun. The colors are always vibrant and fun to watch. The characters
And I like how they make them look fuzzy or felty.
yeah.
And it's just really cute.
And so it worked, but I didn't expect it to be the massive franchises. We got a couple TV
Who
series.
knew?
We're on movie 3. This newest one, they were genius about. Like the last one did the world tour, so it brought all these different bands,
all the different bands and sounds.
music genres together.
Yes, it was so good.
But I kind of was worried because that came out during the pandemic. And I think it was one of the first movies that was like, you could rent it at home as well.
Yeah.
I think that and Wonder Woman were the 2 first ones you could do that with. But apparently it still did well enough that we got a new one. And once again, they have an interesting, fun, major twist with this movie where one of the title songs of the movie, and it's based on a very small portion of the film, has marked the return of NSYNC, that they also announced it, I think a tour, maybe an album or something, all because it connected with this new movie.
Yeah, it's the movie brought the band together or something. I don't know if
well, it says Band Together is the name of the movie.
I mean,
and they're not in the whole movie. They have one
crazy.
scene where they show up, because we all know they're in the movie.
Yeah.
But it spawned a whole big thing. So genius marketing.
Yeah.
So we finally got to check it out. And tell us what it's about, sister.
So it's about some trolls.
Are they banding together?
They're banding together. So after the adventures of our last movie, It's Poppy and Justin Timberlake. What's his name? I don't know. Branch. Poppy and Branch, happy. Everything's going great. And then suddenly someone shows up claiming to be Branch's brother. Dun, dun, dun. And we find out Branch was part of one of the most popular troll boy bands back in the day. And I know he has to go on this adventure with his brother to rescue one of the other brothers that's been captured by these evil people who are using their troll magic to use them make themselves famous singers, because trolls have magic powers. That's why there's so many layers. That's why they can sing so well.
To that description, there are so many layers of nonsense.
But I mean, that's what's happening.
But the movie works. It's a fun movie.
It's insane that this movie. Yeah, the name of the troll band was Brozone.
That's right.
But one of the funniest things is they work in every single boy band into the dialogue. Like we need to be in sync, and we need to.
Now we've gone from boys to men, so we have to get our songs in sync, and
yes, it's just every single.
Or we're gonna have to head back to the streets.
Yeah, get back.
It's just funny.
Yeah, it's every single boy band is in there. It's hilarious.
They even worked in was it Menudo? Oh yeah,
yes,
one walks in and goes, and this Menudo is delicious.
Yeah, like every boy band you can think of is mentioned in this movie. I think it's a great homage.
It is. It's fun.
And it is a lot of fun. And there are a lot of jokes that adults will get. So it's not just for kids. Obviously it is. The vibrant colors. There's nothing gross or scary or anything. So it is safe for children.
It's insanely bright and vibrant.
It is but it does keep us engaged in a certain level as an adult, because a lot of those boy band jokes, some of the love stories, I mean, just some of the funny things, it's up here for us. So it's not a boring movie, which is just crazy. I like trolls, and I watch the little TV shows because I watch them with the kid. Like, I'm all up to date.
And I'm not like huge on these movies. Like, they're not ones I'm like, I can't wait to see this. They're fun. They're uplifting, even though there's some heaviness to some of the story elements. And it's like any other animated movie. You've got ups and downs and heartfelt moments. But these movies are so bright and vibrant, you can't help but have a good time watching them.
Yeah.
Even when they're the stupidest and the story's not that strong, it's just like, I can't help but dance, or I can't help but smile watching the nonsense that's happening on stage.
And I think for me, since they are musical, they start off with like a whole list of 70s songs, and you're like, why do you know this song? Like, because that's what I listen to.
Because there was a different tone of the song, and then some of them I knew once I could understand it, because they're not singing it the way it was actually sung.
Yeah, no, there's so many mashups in this thing, but I think that's the thing though for adults, is you're going to recognize a lot of the music, and they do sing some more recent stuff, but I like that they keep it moving. The story keeps moving because of the songs. They use a lot of the song to keep your story going, which that's how I live my life.
But they also incorporate the songs into the story, but it's not a musical where people are singing dialogue for no reason. No. Just because someone had to tie their shoe. They're performers. They're singing because it's a performance, or they're singing because they're connecting to something, or they're trying to sell an emotion that's way better. That's one of the reasons I have issues with standard musicals, is somebody just starts singing about getting a sandwich. Yes. And I'm like, I don't care about you singing about your sandwich. But in these, they're just trying to party and have a good time.
Yeah. Okay, we got a funny. Trolls. I thought the one with Sonny Bono was the best. That's a whole different troll movie. Troll with Sonny Bono.
Oh, goodness.
That's this movie. That's a different
Sonny Bono,
movie.
the singer? Oh, that troll. Troll. Yeah.
That's a different one. Good reference.
That movie is good, though. I like that. I haven't seen that movie forever. Because there's another movie called Troll on Netflix. That's a foreign film that's outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a giant troll. That's really good.
Oh, okay.
I talked about it.
Pull out all the troll movies.
Shows back, but yeah, let's just all talk about trolls. Every troll
you can think of.
Anyway.
Yeah, these movies are just so cute and so engaging and entertaining. A lot of fun. Engage. And they have no business being this good.
No, and like you mentioned earlier, the attention to detail.
Yes.
Like, it's hard for me to imagine that we're still that amazed by the animation and stuff, because everything is so amazing now.
Yeah.
Especially compared to stuff we had when we were kids, that was flat, and it was really good. You watch things like, I don't know, The Lion King and those kind of things, they were
good.
Those were even after we were kids, but that animation was still beautiful animation, but
This is
3D stuff
amazing.
and the details, you know, I remember when Shreks and those things kind of started coming out, you're like, you know, some of Toy Stories. And if you watch Toy Story 1 now, it's nothing compared to Toy Story 4. You know, but
like
look at these, like the felt
and their little hair and the furs and everything looks wispy, and it's just like, how did
and
they
then
do
there's like
this?
there's also like a whole series of characters that almost look like yarn.
Yes, they're
And
yarn.
you're seeing the little fuzzies in the yarn and stuff. It's really
the
well
one
done.
that's like crinkle paper, and it's just like, how did you make
it's those little
paper?
attention to details that are really cool that just make this world
amazing.
even bigger
Sit
and
down,
better.
sit down.
So anyway, Trolls Band Together is in theaters now,
and it's really good.
So check it out. If you like the first Trolls, the first 2 Trolls movies, then you'd like this one too. It's right up on par.
If you like box trolls,
yeah, it's Box Trolls is great.
Box Trolls.
It's one of those few sequels that I think every one of these have been equivalent to the last.
Yeah, I think I like World Tour just because I like all of the different genres.
Yeah, because that had so many varieties.
Yeah, it was really good. So that's all. Check it. Might check 1, 2.
Moving on.
Next, are you okay if we go here?
Or
you want to go to a different one?
No, we can.
Or why don't you tell me about this first?
Why don't we move that one, because that doesn't come out on Blu-ray until the 12th.
This one?
Yeah, so let's move it.
Okay, tell me about this.
Oh,
because I'm excited to hear about this one.
So this next one is a new Welgo USA release, Eye for an Eye, The Blind Swordsman.
Nice.
Now it's kind of the wushu, whatever you want to call them. It's WUXIA, I believe is the genre, which is basically martial arts, superhero, Chinese genre. And it's anytime you have one of these martial arts epics and there's one hero and the wire work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Anyway, the basic premise is this guy who is a blind swordsman. He's essentially like a bounty hunter / assassin for some kingdom kind of thing. Oh, Billy just kicked her in the face.
Be careful.
She touched. So we have, not to interrupt, but we have the Billy puppet on the tricycle from Saw sitting over here.
Her ball went under his bicycle.
Well, no, she touched the foot on the pedal.
Yeah, because her ball.
I know, but then the foot came off the pedal and it freaked her out.
It's okay, Sabini. Go
anyway,
get your ball. It's okay. Go get it.
So basically, this swordsman who is basically a bounty hunter, and he's just kind of going through his life doing his bounty hunting and stuff. But he gets involved with this lady, but not like in a romantic way. He's at her wedding.
Oh, okay.
And he's not at her wedding because he's a guest. He thinks she's like a wine. I think if I remember correctly, the ladies, they have they're like wine makers.
Oh, okay.
And he's kind of drunkard sometimes. And so he's walking by, he smells the wine because he's blind. And he's trying to get wine. And she's like, well, this wine is for my wedding. But, if you want to come to the wedding, you can. It's free wine. Because he's like, fill up my flask thing. And so he's basically just at this wedding just to drink wine. And then everybody at this wedding is slaughtered after he passes out. So he kind of leaves. That's not really a spoiler, because then he goes and tells the officials what has happened. And then, of course, you find out the corruption and the government stuff. And now he gets pulled into it and all this stuff. So it's a very, unlike a lot of these movies, it's a short runtime. It's not even an hour and a half. It's like an hour and 14 minutes or something. So it's very crisp. It's clean. It's got some great fights in it. Some of the cuts to the fights are a little sporadic, like not as bad as like shaky cam, but they cut away too fast sometimes, so you don't get the full effect.
Like the first Hunger Games?
No, not even that. It's like if somebody blocks this.
That's one of the things I hate about.
Well, it's like if somebody blocks this way, and then when he goes to shift, the camera shifts so fast. Sometimes you don't see what they're doing.
The full blocks.
But it still works, and it's the guy, the lead guy, which is where's his name at? Meow Z, I guess, XIE. He's really good in the movie, and he has some cool stances. He has some cool shifts, and great sword work, hand-to-hand work, and some great fights in it. But the best part of this movie, I think, is the final fight, or one of the final fights. It's just such a beautiful visual because it's in the snow.
Yeah.
And he's fighting all these different guys. And so there's like something like he does this thing and he'll be like standing like this with a sword with blood dripping, but snow is blowing. And
that sounds cool.
He does this really cool move. This is kind of a spoiler, but it's not to the movie itself. It's just a move in the movie where he takes this wine jug, he throws it up in the air, right? He slashes it with his sword. So now there's wine in the air. but it's snowing, so it's super cold. So you kind of see that start to crystallize.
Oh, that's cool.
But then as he slashes it, he stops on the sheath, and there's a little notch on the sheath that's carved out, and then he slashes it back, and it sparks, and it catches all the wine on fire and sets everybody on fire at the same time.
That's awesome.
So it's all, the whole movement is this. It's like this, this, this. So it lights it.
That's
like
cool.
It's a cool visual.
That is cool.
But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was cool. It was kind of the old school vibe. And big props to this guy because he did the entire movie with his eyes closed.
That's great.
Like he's walking around physically, not like with the blind contact type things. You do see that at one point in the movie, but 98% of the time in this movie, he's just like this, just walking around. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. It has the typical betrayal. It's not that complicated of a story. It is one of the better ones like this that I've seen in a while.
Okay.
So, and it's not only is it available, this week on Blu-ray and DVD, it's already available to stream on Hiya.
Hiya.
Which you can get for like $3-4 a month.
You should just do that. It has everything you would ever need.
We're giving away copies on our website at
HollywoodMatrimony.com. I love free stuff.
So gives you a chance to check it out.
Free stuff.
Moving on.
Stuff. All right then. Next movie.
What we got?
Are you here? Okay, to go there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Here we go. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
So
Obviously,
funny.
I like Good Burger. This is Good Burger 2. Whoop, whoop.
What, like 25, 26 years in the making?
Lord have mercy.
Because I think last year they just put out a 25th anniversary steelbook edition of the original movie.
Yeah, because you gave it to me and I watched it immediately.
I watched it as well. Now this one is just streaming on Paramount Plus, which I think was a smart move of putting it Paramount Plus because it probably wouldn't have got the numbers. Because really, the nostalgia of this movie is our age.
Yeah, it's going to be us. Who else is going to care about
But I
Good
hope
Burger?
that makes the younger people discover both movies.
Yeah.
And in turn, maybe discover all that and some of the other things. But what's fun about this is I saw an interview today I was watching. Now that they're able to promote stuff again, Keenan and Kel were on Fallon, and they were talking about the birth of Ed and how he created Ed. And apparently, the Ed character is what he auditioned on All That for.
Oh, that's
But at the
funny.
time, Ed was a pizza delivery boy, and he was supposed to be like, Bill and Ted, that kind of stuff. But delivers your pizza, and so they cracked up, they got it, and he said that then when they were trying to put the skit together, he was in the prop department, and he saw the Milli Vanilli wig when he first, and he said it was kind of like, oh, it's
That's
like
nice.
put that on, and then of course the funness and the being adults now, he has a bunch of kids, and 2 of the kids in that movie are his real life kids. So anyway, tell us what's going on with Good Burger 2.
So Good Burger 2 has our friends coming back together. Dexter has failed at some big business deal that he was doing, so he has nowhere else to go but to come back home. And of course he needs money, so here we go again. He has to get a job at Good Burger. And guess who's still there? Ed. He's still there working at Good Burger. Not gonna tell you anything else. You just need to know he's still there. It's a whole new cast of crazy characters.
It is. It's the same formula of the first movie, which was smart.
Yes.
Because they played some of the same jokes, but in an updated way.
Updated, yeah.
And I was worried because of them. They were teenager kids when they made the first one. Would this work as them as adults?
Right.
And it does perfectly.
It still works because you see that Ed still has that innocent child mentality, but he's grown up. He has some kids. So he's navigating that. It's funny. Did you notice his wife works at Good Burger? I mean, they're all together.
Well, remember, he's like kind of the owner manager of that Good Burger now.
Yeah, so he's been there that long. But all his kids, everybody in his house wears Good Burger uniforms. Like, that's their clothes.
It cracks me up because his kids' names are like pickle and mustard. And my favorite one is No Mayo.
Yes.
And there's one kid that glows in the dark.
It's just bizarre. Yeah, his kids. It's just so funny.
It's stupid. It's hilarious. It's simple, and it's kind of wholesome.
It is. It's sweet. It's wholesome and sweet because in the first one they were trying to take down Mondo Burger.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we kind of get a reprise of that. So, and if you look, they look kind of the same, a little bit older.
Yeah, they're just taller.
But because black don't crack. But
and they look
it's so cute.
They love these characters in this movie so much,
just
you can tell they're
sweet.
having a blast.
Yeah, it
Because,
was super
because
fun.
they're real life friends.
Yes.
It's not one of those duos that don't really like each other
Yeah.
anymore, you know. And I even read an article that Keenan was saying the best part about this, outside of making Good Burger 2, is now that they're older, coming back together, they want to do more projects together.
That's
because
nice.
back then,
can we get like a Keenan and Kel reunion?
Well, back then
or something.
They were young, and when they started seeing a little bit of fame, they wanted to do their own thing.
Of course.
And, you know, they were artists. They didn't want to be just Keenan and Kel forever. They didn't see the magic that those two had together. They saw, we're growing up. We're getting too old for Keenan and Kel. And so, you know, he went off. He's been on Saturday Night Live forever. Kel's been doing a ton of other stuff with Nickelodeon and different stuff and voice work. So now they're kind of back together. It'll be interesting to see the kind of comedies and shows they put. I would love to see them do a new Keenan and Kel show.
Or even if they just
maybe make it more of a primetime sitcom instead of a Nickelodeon
more adult.
sitcom. Yeah.
But I mean, even if they just worked on things at the back end together to put new content out.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it'd be interesting. I think one of my favorite things too is we still had the Burger Mobile. It's just been updated.
And they were the other thing I was reading about, they were excited because they were in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yes, in the burger car.
And they were asked to, here's the thing though, is they were asked to do it, but at the time they were asked to do it, the strike was happening. And they were so excited, but weren't sure if they were going to do it.
If the strike is
because
over.
If the strike didn't end, they can't promote the movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, the strike ended like just in time, and they were able to jump out there and do it. And
yeah, it's funny.
They even at the premiere, one of my friends was at the premiere, and they had the Good Burger Mobile there, and they were taking pictures. And it's like they've been promoting the crap out of this movie.
And it's funny because Al Roker's like, hey, you know.
And let me tell you, there's a plethora of cameos in this movie too.
Yes.
Like, you can tell that, because I can't imagine this movie had a massive budget, but you can tell that there's people that probably did this movie. They were either friends or fans. You know, like with Keenan being in Saturday Night Live, he had a lot of connections to people.
Correct.
And there's a couple of Saturday Night Live alumni.
So, I mean, and I'm sure like Flufa, because he's a comedian, so there's got to be a way that Flufa, the crazy German guy.
Oh yeah.
Love him.
Flula.
Flula.
But I don't want to spell any of the cameos. I want you just to see them.
You just need to see it.
But there's cameos from the original movie. There's cameos of just fun new stuff.
It's just crazy.
There's recreations of the similar scenes. Like your favorite lady from the first movie comes back.
Told me out.
Yeah, so I love this movie.
I have to admit, so dumb, but I love it.
When Good Burger came out, I was not a fan. I was a fan
You weren't.
I was a fan of all that. I was a fan of that skit. I don't know why at the time.
I remember.
Because, especially me, because I like these stupid movies. And I don't know why I didn't connect with
me. But I totally loved it. I remember watching it with my brother first. So we were all into it. And I've always like milkshake jacuzzi.
I know. She still does
these movies are so stupid, and I typically don't like stupid movies.
I know. That's why it always baffled me.
But maybe because I saw it at a young enough age that I thought it was funny and they were hilarious. But I don't know.
There's just
something so sweet about them.
There's something sweet and kind of, again, wholesome about these two.
Yes.
And I have said, and I will still stand by it, I don't know if he's ever got the opportunity, but I've always said that I thought both of these guys were going to be massive in the industry. But I thought it was going to be Kel. I didn't expect Keenan to break out as much as he did. I expected Kel to be almost like the next Eddie Murphy, because he did so many characters. He was so funny.
He's been doing a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's done a lot of different stuff, just not to the level of what I thought he would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm hoping that
he's been busy, man.
Oh yeah, he's been working. It's not that
he's consistently doing a movie every year.
Yeah, I would just expected him to be in like more big screen, big budget stuff by this point. But it is what it is. I'm so glad we got Good Burger too.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It was fun.
If you want to even further your experience, we can only half promote it because it went horrible for us. But Arby's has a Good Burger meal, which is basically their Wagyu beef burger with fries and a strawberry shake. We got screwed over.
I'll share a link to it. We'll see.
Because we ordered ours. They had no strawberries, no
shake.
shake machine. They didn't give us crinkle fries. And then for some reason gave us an extra burger. It was a whole thing.
It was a whole ordeal. And they loaded it up with Ed's secret sauce, which was fine.
I'm assuming that they do it like that because they're trying to be like the movie, but it was a little much.
It was a lot. So
and it's weird to me ordering a hamburger at Arby's because they're all about the beef and cheddars and the roast beefs. And so anything other than that, if I go to Arby's, which isn't as often because she's not a fan, I only
If you
get
get
the,
me their chicken sandwich
I know, but I never
or
mention it
their
because
chicken salad sandwich,
I
is
never
their
mention it
chicken
because I know
salad's
that's
good.
not something you're a fan of.
Well, now that they sell Creole fries regularly, I'm okay with it. I don't like their curly fries, and I don't like their seasoning. I don't know what it is.
But
so.
I like their curly fries. I have my normal order is a beef and cheddar, the fries with a cup of cheese. That's my order. I don't get it that often anymore because I also try not to eat as much of that anymore. But yeah, so when I went and asked for a hamburger, I was like, this can't go well. It's Arby's. And sure enough, we tried twice. The first time they didn't have milkshakes. The second time we decided because we wanted to eat the meal while we're watching Good Burger.
Yeah.
We did.
Meal not good, movie good.
Yes, right.
So check it out.
It could just be our Arby's. So
yes,
don't
that's
go
why
by
I
just
posted
us.
a link. So
anyway, Good Burger is now streaming on Paramount Plus, and I believe it was trending. So hopefully it's doing well.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, we got these two. So tell me about this.
Pick which one.
Tell me about this. And
all right,
we'll go to that.
So the next movie up is the new Ridley Scott historical epic, Napoleon.
Napoleon. Does he do this?
He does.
They got it right.
And they even made sure to position people sometimes where he looks smaller than other people. Because I don't think Joaquin Phoenix is that small of a guy.
I don't think he is.
I don't know how tall he is, but
I will find out.
I don't think he's Napoleon sized.
No.
And so when I first saw that he was playing him, acting wise, I thought he would be fine. Visually, I didn't think it was going to work, and especially from a lot of the trailers. If you notice, he has long hair, and I never remember any of the imagery of Napoleon with long hair. But that's because it's young in his younger period before the stuff we probably saw more of. But it's basically the story of Napoleon. It's the rise of his power, but it's actually a love story.
Okay.
But it's two love stories. It's
He's
his love
5'8".
Huh?
He's 5'8". Yeah.
My height.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a midget size, but the
Napoleon was 5'2", so my size.
Yeah.
Ah.
So there's a difference there,
okay.
But they positioned people where he didn't ever look like he was towering.
That's good.
But that also wasn't as important of the movie. But this movie is a love story in two parts. One is his love for Josephine.
Yes.
Which is a well-known, there's a whole thing, Letters to Josephine. There's a lot of different things.
And I love this lady. I love Vanessa Kirby. I love
Vanessa Kirby is so good. And let me tell you about a dysfunctional relationship. It is uncomfortable at times. There's a deep love there between them both, but also a deep hatred between both of them. On the other side is his obsessive love of country. So it's two love stories that fight each other.
Yeah.
Because he's all about conquering for France. So, and I didn't realize that he had become king and all this stuff. I thought, it was just Napoleon general, or, I knew he was in charge of France for a while, but I didn't realize that was like a level. I think my history was clearly not up on Napoleon. But the movie is phenomenal.
Okay, good.
It is intriguing. It's engaging.
Engage.
It's as long, if not a little bit longer than the Hunger Games movie at 2 hours and 30 to 40 minutes.
Did it feel long?
It did not. It felt
Hunger Games was slowing us down.
And this is a talkie.
I'm gonna touch you.
This is a talkie, but there are a lot of battle sequences because they're showing his different battle victories, and each one is like epic and violent and well shot. It's just so freaking good. Now, the only thing that put me off initially, and I might have mentioned it, I think I told you about this. There are no accents in this movie, so nobody sounds French. Nobody's speaking French. When you go to England, nobody's speaking necessarily with an English accent. Nobody's in Russia speaking with a Russian accent. So at first I'm like, why are we're in France, we just expect, but then I realized it's the same across the board. So I think the mentality, and this is my speculation because I haven't looked into it, my idea is that we're, as an audience, just supposed to know, look, these are those countries. So instead of people going in and out of accents, we're just going to talk how they talk. If they happen to cast an English person, fine. But, he's not walking around with a French accent and trying to do a fake accent, or trying to have him talk normal and then a bunch of real French people and make it unbalanced. So after, about 10, 15 minutes, you see what they're doing and it's easy to deal with. Whereas initially, like I said, I was like, he's just talking like Joaquin Phoenix, he's supposed to be French, but if that would probably be the only complaint I had, but at the same time, it did make the movie easier to fully understand.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to deal with people's accents and in and out of reading. I'm having to read it anyway, but in and out of reading subtitles or trying to determine when is a subtitle needed, when is a sub. It's just go across the board. So that was my only complaint. Now, if you want to go through some of the historical stuff, I'm sure there's things we can rip apart, that kind of thing. But I love this movie. It's definitely on one of my top 10 of the year. I think there's some historical stuff that's I think probably inaccurate. But that's with any of these kind of movies. So I stopped complaining about that years ago because they take liberties with certain things. They combine characters. They combine different moments. Because it's a 2.5-hour movie. You can't get everybody's. Lot. I'm sure if you try to put Napoleon's entire life in a real movie, it's going to need to be a long miniseries.
It'd be.
But I thought it was outstanding. Joaquin Phoenix is excellent in it. Vanessa Kirby's outstanding in it. She probably steals most of the movie. She's so good in it. But even if you're not a fan of history or war movies, it's just a good freaking movie. I still think Ridley Scott's one of the best directors of our time. And even Francis Ford Coppola recently was praising him and saying that we should be giving more props to him that he doesn't get. Yeah. Because you think about the movies the man has made, through his career, and it's like, Blade Runner and Gladiator and Alien, and he recently did The Last Duel with Ben Affleck, and which didn't do well. But he did House of Gucci, and he's done Black Hawk Down, and there's so many great movies the man makes. This is another one. He's making Gladiator 2 now, so we'll see. But Napoleon is outstanding.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I was just checking, there's a lot of articles and criticism about the accent thing. Yeah. Like, why didn't he at least try to have a British accent like everyone else? Because, like, Vanessa Kirby's British. And
but I didn't feel like she really had a British accent either. It just, I think everybody talked how they talked. Mm. And I didn't feel like she was heavy British either, because I don't think she was supposed to be British.
No, she's French.
Yeah. So.
Very, but who knows? So there's a lot of criticism about it. Ridley Scott's like, when we showed it in France, nobody complained.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. That's
when they premiered it there.
I feel like he said, "Let's not bother with all that, because people are going to complain that your accents are bad. They're not good enough."
Well, too, if you're looking at time period accuracy accents, that's the thing. It's not just French now. You have to go back to the time period of what they would have spoken then and how. It's a whole ordeal. It's too much.
I think it was, and like I said, I think it works because they did it across the board. Yeah, they could have done just.
Everybody would
people in France, and then the Russian people were hard, and the England people were hard, and the American people. They just made everybody talk the way they talked, and that was it.
You know what? Because I think it's more about the character, not the.
It is. I found myself if you're somebody that was really that put off by it, you're not really paying attention to that
movie.
Because the movie is so compelling. Even though I knew a lot about Napoleon, there's so many things I'm like, oh wait. That's how he got here. I didn't realize he overthrew this person. I didn't realize he screwed this person over, or I didn't realize he had a truce with this person and then they betrayed him. I didn't remember a lot of this stuff. It was interesting.
Oh, we had a comment about the hat. What the heck's the purpose of Napoleon's hat? So Napoleon wore his hat sideways so they could find him on the battlefield. That is the actual historical accurately thing.
And they don't talk about
because the hat should go this way, but he wore it broadside on so that they could find him on a battlefield if needed.
And it's interesting because in the movie I don't remember them mentioning that, but it's interesting because most of the movie he wears it at an angle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then when he went into battle, he turns it, or when he's on the battlefield, he turns it to that side to side. But if you look in some of the early trailers, he's sitting and it's kind of like this. It's not forward, but it's at a weird angle.
But that's why he wore it sideways, so they could find him.
How do you know?
Because it's history.
Okay, fair enough. Because it's history.
It's history. I mean, anyway. But the hat, the way it was designed was to block the sun in the front and to shade your neck in the back. So the hat design did have a purpose. He just did his own thing because he was a little bit cray-cray, wasn't he?
He's a little bit. He
different.
wasn't crazy.
A little bit different.
He was probably on the spectrum. He's
just like a lot.
He was just
like when he was on a thing, he was like.
It was more like uncomfortable. When he was on the battlefield, he was very streamlined. He had plans. He was very like, we're gonna do this, this, and this. Go. But when he would when he's talking to Josephine, he's very like,
Oh.
And Joaquin Phoenix plays him that way too, where he's even when he talks to other people,
Joaquin Phoenix
he
is
always
special
feels
too, man.
uncomfortable.
I think in real life he feels uncomfortable.
I don't think he likes to
be very
impress.
uncomfortable to talk to.
I think he's a super nice guy, but he's also a method actor. I'll never forget when he did that mock documentary thing about his rap career. And he was going on, I don't know if you saw any of this, but he had a big bushy beard, he had sunglasses, he was going on talk shows, he was giving up acting, he was going to be a rapper. And I think Casey Affleck, directed a documentary about his rap career. It was just all bullshit. It was just this whole thing for this fake documentary. And he went on the shows, just, I'm not an actor, man, I'm a rapper now. And it was just this weird Andy Kaufman type moment. But
he lives his life that way during the things, right? When he does.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he does that all the time and everything. I don't know if he was acting like Napoleon the whole time, but I think he's just one of those guys. But he's a brilliant actor and he's brilliant. This is, I think, one of his better performances in a long time. And I hope this movie gets award stuff because it well deserves it.
Yep.
So Napoleon is in theaters now. Check it out. And it's doing surprisingly well. People thought this was going to be one of those that wasn't as big of a box office draw.
You never know about people in history.
But much like Oppenheimer, this one's doing really well.
Wow.
I mean, it's not beating Hunger Games or whatever, but
it should be.
Well, that's a genre movie, so it's going to always.
Sorry, Hunger Games.
I agree. This movie has way more purpose. So, anyway.
All right, one more. This is the new Peacock original film, Genie, starring Melissa McCarthy.
And I heard people bashing this movie, so heading into it, I was a little on the fence.
Fun.
I was like, man, I hope this movie isn't just hard to get through,
Well, I think it's just one of those movies that's just meant to be fun. It's a little holiday uplifting story. It's a man who is struggling during the holidays to spend time with his wife and child because he has a very demanding job with a horrible boss. And because of that, he loses pretty much touch with his family. And so suddenly a genie appears on the scene and he's trying to fix his relationship. I was wondering if this was going to be one of those genie movies where it's like, oh, be careful, don't make any wishes because it could come back and hurt you. Like, if you get your 3 wishes, like, don't wish for money because that means the genie robbed a bank and you're going to go to jail. One of those types of things. Like, be careful what you wish for. But this was actually a very much more wholesome take on the genie mythology that we know. And I really liked it because she was truly, really trying to help him just be better, but really get his family back. And I think it's one of those life lessons that you may not need a wish. You may just need to change to be better.
Well,
or make the effort to be better.
I think they did a smart thing where they ditched the 3 wish mentality, and like you're saying, with a lot of the standard tropes of genie stuff, and it opened the doors to have fun.
Yes.
And like not everything was a trick. Not everything was like, oh no, now I don't know what to do. And it allowed them to have like a montage.
We need a montage
of like goofiness. And it's both of them figuring out. She's been gone for so long, so she has to figure out the real world. He's trying to find himself. The story itself is generic. It's like every other.
It's a little bit of
holiday romance. Scrooge.
Yeah, bad boss during Christmas, lose your family.
Yeah, it's essentially the Scrooge movie, but with Genie's level.
It's better. It's better.
But it's fun. I thought after I read the article about somebody talking about it had no laughs to it. It wasn't funny at all.
It's hilarious.
I was like,
she's hilarious.
I was like, this is gonna be a struggle, but it was fun.
I thought it was.
It's not breaking down comedy walls, but she seemed to be having a good time. And I will say, if you don't like Melissa McCarthy, you'll probably be annoyed with her in this movie.
How can you not like Melissa McCarthy?
There's a lot of people that don't, and I don't get it because I find her hilarious.
Huh?
She to me is almost like a Martin Short type performer.
You either like or don't.
But she's a lot sometimes.
Well, he's a lot too.
He is.
And a lot of people don't like him.
The difference is Martin Short is a lot all the time.
Yes. But a lot of people don't like him. That's
I've seen her do a normal. No. There was one guy that wrote an article and everybody attacked him for not liking Martin Short.
I know, but I mean, there are people that don't.
If you don't like Martin Short, then I don't really like you.
I mean, he is just a gem. Anyways, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. She's fun. He's sweet. It's about family, about Christmas, about getting your family back together,
about
focusing on what matters. And I think, like I said, it's not even about the wishes. It's about trying to just be better for your
trying to find
family.
your place.
Yeah.
But this does always spark that argument. I said it during the movie. I get really annoyed watching movies like this when the wife is complaining about the husband's job
I
or
know.
vice versa. Not just this side, but even if it's the husband complaining about the wife's job. But it's like, but you married this person and you knew what their job is. Like, you work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily complain about how you neglect me because you're working all the time. But I know what your job is. So I have no business complaining. So stop it. Stop your whining when you married somebody or you want their money or you want them to give you the house they give and then complain about the work they have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's like, you want the nice house? You gotta let me work.
She starts telling me, she's like, I'm sorry, I'm working. So no, please work more.
Yeah, right.
I need you to work more so I can live.
Oh my gosh.
No, but it's just that level of I think it's a level of a selfishness. Yes, there's elements of people neglecting their actual families or whatever, but if you know what their job is and you know the hours they keep and there's potential that they're going to have to work during certain things, is it hard to deal with it? Of course. But you have to have a balance. Even if there's a child involved, you still have to be like, sit down with your kid and say, look, sometimes I'm not going to be able to come to things.
Mm-hmm.
My job does this, but if I don't have this job, then you can't do these things, and or you quit that job and tell them, I don't want you to do this job anymore.
Yeah.
Not just, well, I'm always tired of you're not home and blah, 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 blah. Well, tell them,
but you still want the money.
Yeah, then tell them, hey, I want you to quit this job.
Yes.
And let's do something else. Then if they won't meet you halfway, then that's a whole nother level of issues. So I mean, that's nothing to do with the movie, but there is an element of that. It drives me nuts every time I see that.
I agree. Especially
the movies of cop flicks. And they're like, you're always leaving, or a doctor or a surgeon. You're always leaving me. You always leave in the middle of the night. I'm like, do you upset when you're driving your Benz around because I'm leaving in the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And you don't work.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It's like most of these people don't work in these stories that are complaining, you're never here with me, you never spend time with me, but they ain't got no job.
Yeah.
Like, then get a job. Then this person doesn't have to work.
She don't want no scrub.
Anyway, sorry. That has nothing to do with this movie. It's just a moment that irritates me.
But it's a really fun movie. So don't listen to those haters. Just watch it and have fun, man.
Yeah, it's a fun Christmas. It's kind of like that other one we talked about last week, that Dashing Through the Snow.
Yes.
It's just a fun holiday movie.
Come on.
Is it excellent? Is it memorable? Is it great? Nah, but it's just fun.
It's a good movie.
Just get over yourself.
Yeah. That's all. We're done.
Oh, that's it?
Over to you, buddy.
Oh, it's over to me. All right, so let's see what we got coming. It's not a huge week for Blu-rays and DVDs. Looks like we got Monk, the complete first season is coming out. Looks like we're getting the 35th anniversary of the original Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad on 4K.
Wow.
Monster Squad, one of my favorites. What's the line from Monster Squad? Wolfman's got nards.
Oh, that movie.
That's getting the 4K release. Sandman season 1 is getting released. Barbarella looks like it's getting a 4K release.
Oh, wow.
And the second of the first, okay, I'm going to explain this. Disney Plus series that are actually getting physical release.
Oh, yes.
They have a series of 4. They're getting physical media releases for the first time. The first one was Loki. That was season 1. The next one, which is WandaVision, technically the complete series, is getting it's getting official release. The next 2, I think, will be in December or January, is Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are both getting released. So these are the first 4 original series from Disney Plus, and they're putting them on physical media because none of the other stuff has been on physical media. So this is the second of those releases. It's going to be out. It'll be out this week.
Okay.
And that's what's happening on my end.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about what's coming out at the theaters or online. So coming out on Tuesday, the 28th, there's a documentary called The Haunting at the Old Mill. It's about an old mill in Dundee, Michigan that they say is haunted. So they
go. A documentary, you said?
It's a documentary.
Okay.
So they're going in to see what kind of spirits they find in the old mill. I would not do that. That sounds like a dumb thing to do. Coming out on video demand and digital, a movie called Savage, the Bigfoot Legend Lives. There's a fire in the forest that's forcing all of the animals to leave their homes, including Bigfoot.
But how can this exist? Because there's the other movie with Sam Elliott called The Man Who Killed Bigfoot and Hitler.
I have no idea, babe.
That movie is fantastic.
Another movie coming out to video demand and digital, a movie called Lacuna. It's
Hakuna Matata.
It's Sophia and her mother have a very strange and troubled relationship,
Good Sophia.
and dark secrets are being revealed.
Revealed.
Always Lola. It's a drama about a senior in high school who throws a crazy party, but then a scavenger hunt goes awry, and they find out some crazy things about their best friends that they probably were better off not knowing. Video Demand and Digital, Place in the Field. It's a veteran story. He receives the ashes of a fallen soldier and goes on a road trip to bury them. Another one on Video Demand and Digital, a movie called Breaking the Silence. It's a self-centered teen must earn the respect of her team as they head to the national championships.
We actually, I think I have a version of that.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's watch it.
If you want to tell about
Oh, I like that person. Okay. Asian Persuasion coming out in limited release this week. Hopefully it's near you. It's a Hollywood rom-com with a bunch of really cool people, and it looks actually really funny, I think, because it's a lot of people that I know. Okay, coming out on Thursday to Netflix. I'm excited. The Bad Guys, a very bad holiday. It's a special. Everybody loved The Bad Guys. Remember, they were in love with the fox. They thought he was very George Clooney.
Everybody was like, he's sexy. Like,
with the cartoon fox. But anyways, so The Bad Guys are back for Christmas. So check it out on Netflix. Also coming out on Thursday on Netflix is called Family Switch. It's a comedy. It's Jennifer Garner and Ed Helms, and I'm in.
Is this another one where they flip personalities or something?
Yes, Jess and Bill trying to keep their family together. They encounter an astrology reader to wake up the family, and they all wake up in a body switch.
Oh, so it's another one of these, I guess.
Yes.
Didn't she do this with 13 going on 30 already?
Yeah, she just turned into her younger self.
Oh.
But she didn't switch.
But turned into her older self.
Oh, yeah, she went
13 going on 30.
She turned older and then went back younger. It was a whole ordeal.
I don't know.
Mark Ruffalo said the same age. Anyways, okay, guys, December is Friday. Can you believe it? Friday, December 1st, coming out to theaters, The Shift. It's a modern-day sci-fi film loosely based on the book of Job in the Bible. So it's a dystopian future. This guy finds himself face-to-face with someone known as the benefactor, and he presents him a series of challenges in order for Kevin to get back to his wife. Also in theaters, Godzilla -1. Post-war Japan. New terror arises. Godzilla.
Is this I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out something.
Okay.
If this is the sequel.
So we're trying to figure out how are the people going to be able to survive Godzilla. We obviously love Godzilla in this family. What are you finding out over there about Godzilla?
Well, is this part of that other
series of Godzillas?
There's a whole other release of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a whole other series of Godzilla.
There's a Godzilla movie that came out. Right? Is it +1?
This is -1. So
no, I know
the first
that.
one +1, I think. Well, please hold while we do some cinematic research. I don't know.
Go ahead and do this. I'm
Okay, you found out. Coming out also on Friday, a movie in the theater called Teddy's Christmas. They're visiting a Norwegian Christmas market, and suddenly they see a teddy bear that starts to move its head. When somebody wins the teddy, they discover that they need to go get it, and true importance of family and friendship. I'm sorry, if there's a magical doll moving its head, I'm thinking Chucky, and I'm out of there.
What?
It's a teddy bear that comes to life at the Christmas market. No, thank you. Also coming out in theaters, a movie called Saltburn.
We have that one.
We'll be talking about that. It's about an aristocratic English family, and crazy things are going to happen. And it's Rosamund Pike. I mean, there's a lot of good people. We'll watch that. Also in theaters, if you're into such a thing, which I am not, It's a movie called Renaissance, a film by Beyonce.
No, that was.
If anybody cares about Beyonce's Renaissance tour, I'm not a fan.
That
Also
was
in theaters, The
shit
Bike
out.
Riders. It's a drama based in the 1960s of a motorcycle club and the lives of their members. And coming to Prime Video, Candy Cane Lane. It's the new comedy with Eddie Murphy. We'll be watching that one.
Is that this week?
Yeah,
Candy Cane Lane?
Friday at Prime
Oh.
Video. So check it out.
Ignore me on my Godzilla situation. I was
Okay.
thinking of Shin Godzilla.
Oh,
Because they put out Shin Ultraman, Shin Godzilla, and I forgot what the other one was. Totally not related.
Coming out on video demand and digital, another movie called Glisten and the Merry Mission. It is
That's
an
so cool.
animated feature if you're into such a thing. This looks interesting. Video demand and digital movie called How the Gringo Stole Christmas.
George Lopez.
Yes, I will be watching this.
It's
a
basically one of those family.
Mexican father's Christmas celebration goes from merry to messy when someone brings their new boyfriend, and I'm going to assume he's a gringo to the Mexican family.
Sounds racist to me.
Also coming out Netflix. This one looks a little bit heavy. It's called May December. It's 20 years of notorious tabloid romance gripped the nation. A married couple buckles under the pressure when an actress arrives to do research for a film about
Will
their
Ferrell?
past. Yeah. It looks very, it's Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman, and it looks very deep. Actually, it's a drama. It's not a
Got Will
comedy.
Ferrell in it.
Maybe he's
Just
doing
saying.
something else. Okay. Video demand digital, surprised by Oxford. It's about somebody who goes to Oxford to get their PhD.
They're surprised.
But something else happens and kind of a mystery presents itself. I'm trying to see. I think that's it. Whew, that's a lot.
Good Lord, woman.
Lots of things. It's not my fault.
All right, so what kind of giveaways we got, sister?
All right, let's talk about it.
We've got copies of a movie we'll be discussing in the coming weeks. A movie called Mercy Road. It's a new Welgo USA movie. We got copies of Weird and the Al Yankovic story, which is probably the most accurate biopic
So
I've ever
fun.
seen. If you haven't seen it, if you like Weird Al or like it, it's a funny movie. We still got 4K copies of The Fugitive, as well as the one I talked about, Eye for an Eye, The Blind Swordsman. And we still got a couple copies left of Scrooge and of your favorite, The Nun 2.
The Nun needs to go away.
But have no fear, The Nun 2 will be ending soon.
Yes, because she keeps scaring me. Everywhere I turn, she's on the TV. You turn on the TV, she's on there. And then, it's trying to scroll away from it, and it tried to play it. And I was like, no, escape. I'm tired of it. I'm scared already.
She's awesome.
The Nun scares me. Okay? Sorry.
Do real nuns scare you as well?
Yes, real nuns scare
Does
me.
the flying nun scare you?
That one does not.
Okay.
Was that
Sally Field.
Sally Field does not scare me. Everyone else does.
Her hat scared me.
That's a lot.
I don't know why nuns don't wear those big hats like that anymore.
Flying nun? No.
Like they wear the
No,
regular habits. I don't even know wear the habits anymore, do they?
They
I
do.
thought I read an article that they said they've given up the habits and.
That was part 2 of Sister Act,
No,
giving up the habit.
no, that was good.
Thank you.
Never mind, doesn't matter.
I'll go look it
Moving
up.
on.
Anyways, that's it for our show today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We will see you next week with more nonsense.
And we're going to talk next week. We'll talk about, we started the Monarch show, so we'll bring that into the thing and explain to what it is and talk a little bit about it once we've seen it. And I've watched the series Twisted Metal, so I'll talk about that as well.
All right. We'll talk to you then.